The video game stigma. There has been a long stigma associated with people that play video games, and there have been even more detailed complaints about games affecting the way our children, adolescents, and even grown adults act in the way they interact and relate with the world we live in. There are several stereotypes. One that sticks out the most amongst the media is the violent nature of games. That video games are the core of promoting violence in individuals. It has also been implied that an abuse of video games makes gamers antisocial, that all gamers are men, that video games decrease brain activity, and obesity is also brought up more often than not, more specifically obese males, indicating that people who play video games have a higher chance of being overweight. Contrary to these stereotypes, people, video games have more health benefits than people perceive, not just with mental enhancements but physical abilities. When video games are not abused in their use, they can be more beneficial than harmful to anyone that is playing them. Let's get into it. It has been blown up in the media time and time again. Video games promote violence, and adolescents are committing violent acts due to the use of video games. In an article posted by Christian Science Monitor, it was mentioned dozens of violent video games were found in the home of Adam Lanza, who killed 26 people in Newtown, Connecticut mass shooting. And the National Rifle Association, perhaps to deflect attention away from concern over gun regulations, placed part of the blame for gun violence on video game companies. That have been many attempts to restrict or make such violent video games illegal. In 2011, a California state law was overturned by the Supreme Court that was aimed at restricting violent video games. There was lack of evidence that proved violent behavior was sparked by the use of violent video games. But this also in conflict with the First Amendment, freedom of expression. It cannot be confirmed nor denied that these violent video games are really at the heart of making people commit horrible acts. In reality, there are so many other factors that could be at the root of evil acts. It could possibly be a misfire in someone's brain, in their chemicals, a troublesome childhood of abuse and maybe even neglect. Could it be that violent movies have more of a chance of influencing and inspiring certain actions? It's not fair to always put blame on video game industry. Games, however, are always under scrutiny. A U.S. politician, Attorney General John Ashcroft, who's this from a long time ago, was known to be very critical of violent video games. But his view was always from a general aspect. But there are others that would target specific games from certain genres. Some violent games like to introduce anti-heroes as the leading character, and the purpose of some of these games is to go out and murder people. There hasn't been any tangible evidence that proves video games really make someone commit murderous or assault and battery. The claim that video games cause violence in people is merely perception and opinion based.